What's going on? Welcome back to the channel. And in today's video, we actually have gameplay from one of our practice sessions. One thing you'll notice right away is it's a little bit different than a typical game of Lorcana. We're going to be able to see each other's hands, but as a group, we try to come up with the best solution given the board state, given the hands, and we try and learn from that. In today's session, I'll be playing Ruby Amethyst. It's the evasive version with the Peter Pans, the Iagos, and the Maui Sharks. While my opponent Ken is going to be playing Green Steel, discard the classic version that's really good at getting your ward character set up and then just controlling the state, whether that be getting rid of resources or just bouncing everything that I try to play. Make sure you guys like the video, subscribe if you like content like this, or if you just like Lorcana in general. And then if you see anything that we missed during the gameplay, leave a comment, let us know so that we can all learn from it. All right.
There you
You can just do 3, 2, 1.
go. 3 on top of 2 on top of 1.
Yeah.
That's exactly the way I uncut it. So you want me to do 1 on top of 2 on top of 3?
No, I don't.
Okay, understood.
What do you want?
I don't care. Do whatever you want. High roll or just 1, 2, 3 is you. 4, 5, 6 is me.
I think you do odds and evens. I'll do evens.
Okay. And it's a 4.
Hey. Alrighty. I'll go first. We're doing both open hand.
Sure. So, gents, for those of you who haven't done this with us, we basically just open hand. We choose the mulligan and then we open discussion on how others feel about the mulligan and why. Ultimately, it's the player who's active's decision, but it's all to incite conversation and just improve.
So I am pretty
I
happy
still
with
only one.
my
There's
hand,
like all the freezers.
but I'm not going to keep um
This is a freaking prison.
these
I was gonna
5.
see. You're not streaming?
Oh,
Yeah,
I'm
you're
not
not
streaming.
streaming.
I'm just recording it. That's funny. How am I gonna do this?
Keep Cove, keep
Can you see
Diablo,
it now?
keep Hades.
Yep.
Alright, cool. Sorry about that.
You're good. All right. In my opinion, Ken, you keep 3 cards in there and you toss 4. That's all.
So
Keep Diablo,
you're
Cove,
saying
and
no muse yet?
no muses. I would probably try to get that Diablo play off early. Look for some actions.
Yeah.
Anybody else see a line? Okay.
It's the same thing. Yeah. That would be my opinion on that one.
2,
Yeah.
3.
All we need is a
4.
Diablo. It's a lot of actions.
So on my side, I am happy with my curve of 1, 2, 3, or 1, 2, 3. Don't want to send an Elsa back. I don't want to send both of these back, just because
I would send 1.
Ruby Am has a high unink chance.
Yes.
I have
I would
3
keep
Pirates Life, and I only have 2 Finders, so I'm okay with inking one of those, but I'm not okay with inking one of those.
I mean, I would probably toss those 2 if that was the
Both of
case.
them.
But that's
I don't want to draw double uninkable though.
that's my other big issue. But at the same time, you're up against a discard package. So something like that would be like Ursula target. Well, the Pirate's Life is the Ursula target. The other one is more like
I'm going first. This will be most
you
likely
want to
my
keep the.
first or second ink. As soon as it's
Oh,
revealed
okay,
that
then yeah, I
it's
would keep
emerald.
the hand. Then. Yeah, keep the curve, keep the hand, and you'll be fine. There you go.
Love
Not
it.
too bad. Some really solid hand, especially the Peter Pan play. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. How you feel about your hand, Ken?
Oh, it's shit. No, it's fine.
Yeah, I think the hand is pretty nasty, especially since you have the Ursula strength. Even
Bruno's going to be ink. But I
Yeah.
get to draw, so we'll see what else I get. I'm gonna quickly recognize I'm not playing a discard deck, so I'm not afraid of keeping songs.
Yep. Especially now you have the Ursulus.
You want to go middle, left, right?
So left for me is 1. Is that what you wanted?
Yep.
And then on top of right,
Yep.
done.
Alright. So what are these
Any
exactly?
preference?
No, go ahead and just do the same.
You're killing me, dude.
Oh,
I'm just doing it for you guys. I don't care.
Alright. So
he
I'm
carried.
probably inking, like we talked about, inking the Pirate Slave, and I'm gonna get pain
You're
out.
on the baby. Oh, sorry,
And I'll
Alex.
And
pass.
pain is just a 1/3
It's just
vanilla.
an Olaf, just a mini, just a 1/3 little dude.
Okay, cool. That makes me feel a lot better about everything right now. So my play that I'm thinking is go ahead and ink the. We don't talk about Bruno, and kind of early to establish a code, but he's a 1/3, right?
Yep.
You're on the baby.
Code
He's right
is the
here.
one.
Look.
Yep.
Use Galaxy.
So yeah, I don't feel too bad about that. Right now, in theory, obviously, Morphe is next. He's gonna go
100%.
park on the code. The pass turn.
Cool. And
We
we'll
could
draw.
agree that both hands right here, like these, this is like the perfect hand you want in these matchups. Oh, it's specifically more for blue, purple, red.
Yeah, I see Cove. Means these ones are for sure staying. Same thing with Peter Pan.
Mhm.
Unfortunately for me, I think the only two. I think Crab or Shark are really my only two options here for ink.
I agree. I would tend to lean towards shark before
Yeah,
crab,
that's what I
especially
was thinking. With the
since you
Cove
know
on the
Yeah.
that can.
board, I want
Yep.
this to come down and one shot of Diablo, or like I want to be able to combo it with a Peter Pan or an Elsa to get rid of the Diablo no matter where he is. So
Yep.
100%. Yep.
ink, play Queen of Hearts, and then I have to do 6 damage to it. So we can do 1.
Yes, I would chip away early on.
Gracious.
Does that change how fast I can get rid of it though?
It,
Because
I
next
think it's
turn the crab can come and boost one of these.
Hey, stop. Banana wall.
Unless the Diablo comes down, and that's where like
Yeah. Well,
Well,
yeah.
your
So
next turn, Peter's coming, right?
or a crab.
if you do the crab, if you do 1 damage now, the next turn the crab will
Crab plus
give
these 2
say
gets rid of it, right?
yes,
yeah.
that's the quickest way to
Yeah.
get rid of it.
So we'll put 1 damage on it,
Okay.
and then pass.
Okay. He does not help with evasive characters. I'm just trying to establish out of these what is going to be ink for morph. And honestly, I think this is off limits. This is going to clean up my board. I like Pete because you're going to have big characters, but they're going to be evasive. So I think Pete is my option.
Yeah, I agree with that because
Yeah,
hypnotize eventually. Hopefully, you can get them down before they start drawing cards.
Yeah. And then morph and pass.
Okay. So ready, set, draw. Oof.
Being weird, I don't
And I didn't, and obviously I wasn't gonna preemptively shift to Diablo because I don't know what's in your hand. But I assume playing Ruby Amethyst is gonna be a brawl at Elsa, etc.
Always
gracious. You're
expect those.
laying
Yep.
on the baby.
So this is where I think you don't even need to really worry about the cove right now, because the best he can do next turn is play
Yeah.
something for 2 cost and move it into the cove, but that would still be a morph for something else. So
Yeah. And I could
I
still
mean, I guess
get
that
I could still get another 4 damage onto it and take it out next turn.
yeah. The best, I guess, the best line he could do right now is play the 1 cost Diablo, move it to the cove, and then shift it instantly. But you're going to
Yeah.
But he
still have
still
you're
can't sing or anything onto it.
correct. Yeah.
He could I mean he could shift the morph into a Diablo and shift it though.
Right. And it's also next turn is beast, so you got to always be aware of beast.
Mm-hmm.
Base or Space Pirate, yeah. Oh no, no Space Pirate yet. Because he's 4, right?
That's my nose that
Yeah.
you're
Yeah,
fighting
he's
for no
4.
reason.
I think in this case I am getting rid of Crab just because I got an unfortunate uninkable.
So
Mhm.
why not Brawl, knowing that Brawl is not as important with Elsa and Peter?
And then, I mean this might be biased because I see Deceiver of All,
The hand. Yeah, gotcha. Okay.
but my
Oh, I
thinking
see what you.
is I'm gonna get rid of if I play
Must
Peter
be.
and I get rid of Cove next turn because everything swings into it right now. I can brawl any of your 2 or 3 cost characters.
Okay.
Is what I'm thinking.
Which there's plenty of options for. That's why you.
Yeah.
That's the idea, right?
And I can't Elsa yet. I'm still 2 turns away from Elsa. So yeah, let's try it
Oh,
with this and put 4 more damage into it.
Oh, you put okay, 5
So
total.
5, yep, and then pass.
So, well, so what was the thought of Peter Pan rather than brawling morph? Because right now, if he puts down beast, he starts his draw engine.
big ass head is in the way.
He's only gonna get
Mhm.
1, 2 turns, 1 turn or 2 turns out of it if Elsa comes down.
That's true.
So if he beasts this turn, he'll get it on his next turn, and then I'll get a
Yeah,
5 to answer it.
that's true.
I think I'm more worried about him drawing on my turn for free than beast.
Yeah.
The
Okay.
only other thing I could think of is like, since I have the damage calculated, instead of sending all of them into the cove, I could just send 2, like these 2 into the cove and Queen of Hearts quests.
And just use Peter next turn to take it.
Yeah.
You'll need to answer. I mean, I don't think you're swinging morph into any of these.
No.
But what are the odds you answer 2 of these next turn? I'm not sure. Um, let's just go with how we had it and just do 5 damage and I'll quest next turn if applicable, and I'll pass.
Off the top, muses. So I can bounce Peter's. I can basically bounce your lower curve, but all your higher curve is gonna smoke me. So this is not gonna be as valuable against you, and it's gonna be better for bouncing my stuff when needed.
Mm-hmm.
but I feel like she's the weakest
Go ask Sissy, she's in the kitchen.
into this gameplay currently.
Go ask Sissy, she's in the kitchen.
Hey, Dad.
So
Hey,
that's the
Please,
inking option.
please,
All right.
Yep, I will. What's that, Josue?
No, I was gonna say so that's your reason for that ink choice.
Yeah, KB, can you not do that right now?
Hmm. Okay. No, I like that. I think that would have been my choice. Just didn't think of it like that, to be honest.
Yeah,
Mm.
I don't think Muses is very good in this matchup because the
They're
things that
just
you're
gonna
going to
get
return are just going to be rush characters anyway.
Rush
yeah,
characters,
rush,
things that draw cards.
draw
Yeah.
cards, or like they want the bounce back capabilities. So yeah,
And I'm
using
okay at certain points in the game bouncing rush characters if it behooves me. But there's not going to be a board state that's gonna be a benefit for quite a while.
Nope.
I was thinking though, what if you're using muses instead of like for against your opponent, but for yourself, where you could get like a lot of plays with a lot of your characters bouncing back your character, but
Oh,
there's not a lot of them in
absolutely.
your hand.
Absolutely, that's going to be the play. I'm right now I'm valuing Ursula paired up with this, and I'm valuing John paired up with that, obviously. And I do have, I think this iteration of the deck is running 4 of these. So it's likely I'll see her as long as I establish some kind of card draw engine.
Hmm. Okay. I like it though. I still think that's the best choice, no matter what.
I think what I want to do is I want to establish John.
So here's
Yeah.
something to think about. Here's something he once he hits 5 ink, he'll have access to Elsa. So
Mhm.
your um, Ursula will never get to double sync because he'll just exert her and then run into her.
True.
So if you want, sorry, if you want that, then you have to. Yeah,
I have to
I don't know if
commit
that's
now.
I don't know if that's the right play or not. I'm just saying next turn she'll be able to be exerted. Of course, if you play it next turn, you can move her into the cove. It makes it a little harder to get rid of, but he still has enough
Yeah,
to.
and we see the brawl, but we also know that the deck runs the brawl too. That's the concern
Yeah.
as well. And that's why I was thinking with a warded character, and then depending on what I'm, presented with, Hypnotize starts to get me some more card draw.
Yeah.
That's better. That's basically the better play. Just so you
Yeah.
get
I
that
was
in
just
your hand.
throwing out the alternate solution or alternate option, I guess.
And I know Lord Canito is the wrong barometer to measure, but on Lord Canito, this has always been my win con over Diablo. Diablo has always just been thanks for the 2 or 3 cards, depending on the scenario.
Mhm. It's
John has
usually
been my
just card
boy.
management.
Um,
And Ward is your best friend right now.
yeah.
I think yeah, that's why going back to that
Pass.
means I feel like since they have Ward, it's a lot more safer.
All right, ready, set, draw. All right. I think given the
You know
board
what I'm
state,
laid out.
I want to get some more cards to get a better ink option,
I want you to lay down.
and I can do it basically for free with Peter Pan.
Yep.
Nice.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'll probably ink a brawl the morph,
Mm-hmm.
and then we'll take out the cove, and we'll quest for 1.
Honestly, that's pretty much the line you had 3 turns ago.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it. So if I quested last turn, I think it would have ended up the same because I still would have had to swing 2 of these, and I wouldn't have been able to sing with that. But yeah.
Yep.
Cool.
All right. And you're passing, right?
Yep.
Well, we know you run beat prep. We know you run friends. We've just seen one. So we're gonna hold that, girl. So we've seen a brawl go into the well. We've seen a brawl in play. So now she feels safer. But we can get some card draw first.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because
so I'm
that'll guarantee
thinking,
you 2 cards right there.
yeah, hypnotize. You figure out what you're going to get rid of, and then this will help me to figure out what I'm going to ink, which
Yep.
Ursula just became the decision.
I'm leaning towards Dragonfire because this is my only copy of Hades in the deck,
Oh,
and I can get Dragonfire back with
Shark.
if I top deck a Shark, not this turn but the next turn, I can have him swing into something right away. So I think I'm okay with having Elsa and so much on board, being able to turn anything that doesn't have ward. So I'll get rid of Dragonfire.
Yeah. And then you playing hypnotize instead of putting a character makes his turn of 5 awkward if he was planning on using the Elsa.
Yeah.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And he has no Dragonfire targets.
Yep.
You already draw your 2.
Yeah, I'm good. And I already inked another Ursula that came
Yep.
off the top.
Ready, set, draw.
So Justin, these are lined up perfectly, but look at the edit. You see the small curvature
Oh yeah, yeah,
from the filter?
yeah. It doesn't look bad though.
This
I'm
is
gonna do
unfortunate.
something. I'm gonna move us. I'm not gonna move us. I'm going to just edit this. Nobody was supposed to be able to see our games.
This is unfortunate because playing Ruby Am, I want to make sure I'm getting to beat prep
Yeah.
as fast as possible.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's pretty much the answer you need right here.
But this is my,
WinCon.
I wouldn't say win con, but this is my instant answer to Diablo,
Right.
to Ursula. But then
Just Diablo's not good into this matchup.
this puts me two turns behind getting to Hades to turn the card draw online.
So
Oh,
so so if you just you got to remember sudden chill and all that kind of stuff. So if you ink, excuse me, if you ink now and play Peter Pan, then you
I
possibly are
probably
going to
would. I
get rid of
wouldn't play.
Hades. You wouldn't play it.
I
Okay.
wouldn't play him.
So if I do top deck a sudden chill, what are you willing to part with?
Peter Pan. The only thing
Okay.
that really screws me up is double discard.
Well,
Yeah.
no matter who you are.
Well, yeah, I think I'm. Well, I think in that case, I'm getting rid of Hades,
Hades.
unfortunately.
Yeah.
So I think I'm inclined to ink Elsa.
Yeah. I mean, you got to get to Hades. If you don't get be prepared, you need to get to Hades so you can get
Yeah.
to be prepared.
And then quest for 3.
Okay.
And pass.
All right. So, drop return. Okay. So
So you
this is
saw
weird.
an yeah, you saw an Elsa go into the inkwell. So do you think that he has another Elsa in his hand and didn't play it last turn because you had a ward character?
Um, this is probably the time I Inca Strength play an Ursula to get a view, and then I establish an Ursula.
Hmm. I would set up the Ursula
Yeah,
now.
I mean, if I'm inking Elsa, I have to have big cards that I'm not willing to play or can't play yet.
Yeah.
I think I'm just being a little picky. I think the right order would have been play Ursula, then decide what you want to ink, and then play Ursula. But I mean, you knew what.
No, you're 100% right. That is definitely like that does always need to happen. Just knowing what I know because of the board state, I did what I did. But
Yeah,
yes,
yeah,
thinking through it, I look first, then I say, "Oh, life is good. Do this because I don't catch anything. Do that." Then now, hopefully, with 3 characters, I can start cleaning up a shitload of that board and top deck a discard. And I'm
Well,
also
you have that too. Yeah.
now, yep. So I have options. So I can literally Bruno, and so the next turn, the setup current state is Bruno, his character, or no, shoot down the 2 characters I don't like, and then Bruno a character.
Yep.
Um, or get a sudden chill and double sing that. That would be fantastic, depending.
Hmm.
But pass.
Ready, set, draw. Huh.
Hmm. Not the best choice, honestly.
So you got an Iago, and you see a double singing. I mean, you're playing Steel. She's usually always ink, right?
Unless he can
Or
get, unless he is coming
he
down
rushed.
and having impact, he's ink.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's one of the things about like the matchup, the green steel. Like any steel matchup is just Iago's just not suitable
Did you
And
ask for
then
choice.
keeping Peter Pan
Yeah.
in case of um
Another Diablo popping in.
yeah, another Diablo.
You need that Hades badly.
She did it for you.
Yeah, Hades
So
perfect vision.
seeing the Iago, just so we're all talking about all points,
15 minutes.
Iago did let me know that the hand is still the same with Hades and Pan.
Yep.
Yep.
I'm sorry, you quested for 3?
Question for 3.
Okay.
And pass. I think I'm feeling okay though, because I'm an ink away and then a top deck to clear board.
Okay. So what is the health on Pain, and what is the health on the other one? Is 4?
3, 4. 3, 3, 4.
Okay. Okay. So I grabbed a Cove. Cove is decent in this scenario because it ramps up Ursula. But at some point, it's not going to matter when the Mauis come out and all that fun stuff, or the Iagos
Yep. Or be
that just
prepared.
dart in, or be right. Thank you. Seth needed to hear that. Um, I do want to establish another character to take out, but I don't want to. I think the optimal line here is actually we don't talk about Bruno first on Pan, because I can either catch a Pan, or a Hades.
So
But then I also don't
if
you won't
know.
be able to clear
if
the
you do
board.
that, you can't
Yeah,
clear the board.
right. So
You'd have
I
to get rid
wanted,
of Queen.
You have to get rid of
yeah.
it.
So I want a 5 for Queen.
That's the
1,
consensus,
2,
no
3,
matter what.
4, 5. 5 for Queen. And we know I'm going to get a card off of that.
Always pick top left, the left side, no matter what.
Why?
I don't know why, but for some reason, it's just a thing that I personally. It's like a taboo for me. It's like you always choose left because
All right.
you're never right.
So I always roll. But hold on, real quick. Just
I'm just saying left.
1, 2,
Superstition. That's all.
3, 4, 5, 6.
Yep.
But yeah, it's
Wait,
random.
wait,
So
you went 1,
you're
2,
never
3, 4, 5, 6.
Yep. So it's 6.
Okay.
I'm taking my top right. Well, your top right, whatever it is. Okay, so I got screwed. So what was top left? Was it Hades? This guy.
so left.
Okay.
The whole thing
Left
about
is
left.
always the play.
So
Yeah.
I am going to clear the board.
Yeah.
and then this goes to the bottom of my deck. Now, I do know that Pan can come down and rush right in, so I am inclined. No, I can't.
Did
Never
you
mind.
did you draw your second card for Gian?
It was the
It's
only.
just one card.
Oh, yeah, it's only one card because it's Bruno,
Oh
and it
yeah,
was a
yeah, you're
and it
right.
was a
You're right.
morph. I have not inked for turn, but I'm now valuing morph more than I am cove at this point. For when I do top deck a shift target, which is space pirate or beast. How do we feel about that? Or do you think I should set up a cove and protect characters?
You remember that probability you were talking about, or you showed me earlier?
Yep.
Do you remember your inkwell?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, what are the chances of those two
Ditch
options
the
coming
cove
in?
because you're in B prep range anyways.
True.
I mean, I think that's right, but I'm just saying,
Well,
like, what you want to draw in?
if you're keeping track of that, I have not played a card, or I have not played the
Yeah.
Hades or the Pan that you know about.
Yeah.
You know that I cannot be prep next turn.
Right. And I know you have
Right.
two uninkables too.
And yeah, well, and then so if you put the cove out, the best that he can't. If you put the cove out now, he can't get rid of it, and he can't get rid of Ursula unless he gets um a Maui. Maui would be his only option to get rid of it.
Yeah.
So if you played that, then you can move and protect her a little bit longer, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah. At some point, I'll be able to. Yeah. So, Seth, I am going to go with that play
Inking it?
because
Oh, all right.
inking morph and playing the cove. I am going to go with that play because I'm not going to win the battle of strengths here. So this will just.
Basically, yeah, the board. You know for a fact he has the board presence.
Right, and
Yeah.
then it
And
also
there's
gives you
still
the
two
strength.
brawls hanging out.
Right, and if
Yeah.
it also gives strength, so that means if Ursula survives this turn and you move her into the cove to get rid of her, you'll have to deal 3 damage back.
And I feel safe in this scenario to quest here, but I am not going to quest with John because I don't want to risk it with a Maui.
Yeah.
And you also I have a Peter Pan.
And I know you have a Peter. And pass. One in hand.
Oh, that's not
Okay.
the worst.
It's not the worst. I know this is coming down and going into Cove. Or is it coming down and going into Ursula? My thoughts for it coming down and going into Cove is if I draw an Inkable next turn, I can put 2 damage
You can move.
onto Peter Pan,
Yep.
and he lives. Now he's got 1 card in hand. I feel like he would be holding discard until I have 1 card left in hand. Is my gut thinking.
Or
Otherwise,
another spell.
I'd put 2 down and really just take out the Cove and before it
Yeah.
becomes a problem. It can still get taken out next turn if I don't have a play for Hades and Peter
Yep.
Pan stays on the board. I think for that reason, I probably keep Peter Pan in my hand because now he also doesn't know that I top decked another Peter Pan.
Right.
So I have a mystery card now.
He might think it's a B prep or something like that too.
I'm thinking it's the B prep, and I'm happy that he doesn't have an inkable, so it's delayed another turn.
So I think
Yes.
I'm not revealing the Pan, and I'm just passing at this point. Well,
I think you got to get information first before you make any decision.
Yeah. The thing that's bad is we're not considering there's 6 ink on the board against Ruby Amethyst. So even getting information is bad because this is part of my crawl out if
Yeah.
I get an action. So I know one thing I want to do. So obviously we got a couple choices here. We've got free play a Diablo and say screw it, he didn't get it. We're at minimal a turn away because he needs an inkable. I can look at the cost of losing another character, which is an easy setup post B prep for an easy shift. But also, I kind of need to go wide because I'm low and fast and he's not. And he's got 7.
Well,
Yeah, so I
so
gotta see.
yeah, because even if you keep that in the hand, even if you drew Diablo, you'd have to get the shift Diablo, and then next turn you'd have to draw an action.
Yeah, and now here's the consideration. I don't want to show him that I'm out of cards. I want him to still fear and take the bluff. I could always establish the Diablo and hope to get lucky and be able to exert him and play him. But what's the chances of him grabbing an Elsa and just turning it and doing his dirty work? I
Yeah.
still want to always bluff. So I think
Right.
I just
And
take all 4 and move him into the cove.
right. And you know he has another Peter Pan in his hand, so you know that he
Yep,
can just as soon as you exert
Yeah.
Diablo, he's gone anyway.
right. So I think this is a play. Obviously, this being fresh. Now, Peter doing Peter things. He's gonna die. He's gonna die, and I will not.
How's he gonna get you banned? Because he keeps telling people that he's 7 and you have to be 13 up to play on it.
God,
Play on what? The Octoroid.
quest for 1.
Literally.
Oh, wrong side.
You can give me more points.
No, I know. Um, no, I don't want to read that. I don't have a song. If I had a song, I would play it though.
Yeah.
But well, is it worth you playing a song to get rid of one character right now? Unless it was a
Right.
storm. So you could be hiding a strength that you don't want to
Yeah.
waste the double song on.
Yeah, I would pass.
Okay.
Oh, here we go.
Oof. This hurts.
Yeah. Because
The
I think I'm inking and starting to draw cards because there's no Diablo on board, and we can get rid of the cove before Diablo becomes a problem. Is my thinking.
yeah. And what's your? I mean, even if you had Elsa, what's your target? You would get rid of the cove, but then you'd still wouldn't be able to take out anybody.
Yeah. So let's
Hold
ink.
up Hades to the camera, please.
Yeah. He might be backwards if you want me to read him.
Whenever you
no,
play
it's
this
good.
character, and whenever he quests, you may move 2 damage from chosen character of yours to draw 2 cards.
You may
Okay.
deal 2 damage to one of my characters to draw 2 cards. So first I would put 2 more damage onto. Actually, no, I wouldn't. I wouldn't yet because I want to see what I get with Hades before I do that. Put 2 onto Peter Pan. Draw 2 cards.
Okay.
Okay. Now that I don't have anything, I'd put 2 damage onto the cove, and we would pass.
So, I mean, that's obviously the only. I mean, that's like the only play.
What is Hades' strength and weakness?
He's a 3/6.
Yeah. So
Plus for two.
Post B prep. I can exert these without. I can. He wants to quest. He wants to draw. Does he have to do other characters, or does he
Yeah,
have to do him?
other character. He cannot do it on himself.
So I don't think that he wants. I don't think that Hades wants to swing into me, and I don't know what the hell you have now, because now everything, all three could be new to me.
You know Pan.
Oh, I know Pan because of this. Yeah. This shitty situation. All right, I move them all into the cove again. They stepped out for a minute and they're all back in. Um, I gotta live in a post B prep world.
Yeah, I'm gonna say you probably don't need any more ink, do you?
No, not really. Um, you know, if I get to a scenario where I start drawing a ton, it's nice to get around 8, 9-ish because
Yeah,
you can do massive combos, like a chip into like a Diablo and like a Ursula Deceiver. Just fun shit. But I really got to get a song so that way I can do quest shenanigans and pop them back up and replay them and
yeah.
all that stuff. Yeah, we're at a disadvantage right now. So pass.
Cool.
You want
Ready,
to keep the
Seth,
status quo.
set.
if you see something different, pipe out.
No, you're you can't really do anything.
All right. Nothing is exerted. So crab is pretty much off limits here. I think we want to draw a
Yep.
card.
Yeah.
I think we also want to quest
Oh.
for 2. Put 2 damage onto Genie. You
2
probably can't
cards.
see that well.
Jeez.
Draw 2
I'll end up
cards.
memorizing it.
Man.
Oh, man. Man, oh man.
Well, now you can, if the board presents itself, now you could always fox your Hades and then be prep. Not that you're going to right now. I'm just saying because you have control of the board currently.
I do. Genie is taking out
He
Cove.
just played it.
Yeah, Peter Pan.
Oh, he has rush. You're right. You're right.
Yeah. Am I getting a library down here?
Yeah, because that sets up your be prepared if you need to do that next turn.
100%.
I'm probably
It kind of also
inking, pain, moving.
Yeah, yeah.
Not to get
That's
him
the only,
off. And
This is
it's
the only one
Hades
that
is
I
the only
care
one he
about
can
losing.
touch. Yeah.
Well, he could touch these two with songs, but he's the only one that
That's
doesn't
true.
care about losing
Yeah.
for
That's
free. And then we're questing for 1 with Peter Pan, and that's why I didn't attack with him, so that I can quest with him.
Yep.
okay. Yeah, this is like the best be prepared move you can make. Because if now Ken has to basically force a board and then he can just wipe it.
Yep. All right, I pass.
Christ. Um, 2, 4, 2, 3, 3, 6.
KB, it's time to get off. It's time for bed.
Or Do I muse? Double Saint Ursula. Knowing you get cantrip with Genie. Dipshit can just rush in and now loses damage. But I could get some really decent other cards.
So if you're worried about be prepared, you could quest with John, double sing, or put
Yeah.
muses down, quest with John, double sing Ursula, bounce John
Double swing.
back,
That's John. Yep.
Well, I could, in theory, bounce both these back,
and bounce. Yeah, you could bounce both of them back, and
giving
then that
myself the
means
strongest board that I'm gonna have for a while.
right.
Okay, let's.
Ready? Get into bed. Brush your teeth.
Thing that sucks is I'm left with 2 ink. I haven't inked, but I'm left with 2 ink after I do the muses.
Yeah.
So I'll let you figure out what you're gonna get rid of.
Probably getting rid of a pan and a crab.
Yeah. So
No, so actually, you would
I did it out of order.
you did out or yeah,
Out or yeah.
So I would have quested with John first.
right.
Then I would have double sang after bringing her out.
Well. So actually, what would happen? So the card will fully resolve, and then the song goes to the bag, or so it goes to the discard. So that Ursula's ability and John's ability go in the bag, or how's that work exactly?
Well, no, I'm allowed to. So I quest first. I
Mhm.
establish muses. Double sing here, and then Ursula's abilities go into the bag after. And then so this goes at the bottom, and then at the simultaneously the muses abilities go into the bag, and I'm allowed to establish them however I want because they're all in the bag. So I can do muses dead last and bounce.
Okay.
Does that make
I was
sense?
just I was just checking to make sure that's how it works because I know it goes to the disc. It says it goes to the discard, and then you can play the song again.
Mhm.
So Ursula's ability goes into the bag as well does the muses
Well,
once,
let's do
and then
this.
John's. I'm just making sure that you get two cards instead of just one card, or one card instead of two cards. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, he doesn't have to
He wants
bounce
the
it
most script.
until the very,
Till
very end.
till it's okay. Gotcha.
So these are my 2 bounce targets. Now, this was probably the luckiest thing in the world
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
because that right there was my last 2
Yeah.
ink. And now I don't have the John, but we get the B prep out. And we do
Right.
see that we're in a pretty bad scenario still. The other part of this is he's got a 2-turn clock, not counting the library. Wait a minute,
Mhm.
last turn did I give him library?
No, I just played it last
Yeah.
turn.
Okay. So he's got a 2-turn clock.
Yeah.
That is one thing that's tough right now. I have nothing to discard to jam Diablo into something, and I have no way of doing 6 damage. So this is the next hurdle I have to overcome.
Yeah.
Um, so I'm wondering if I present him some bait.
Yes. I was gonna
Yeah.
say start turning sideways to see if you could fish out
Yeah,
his cards.
yeah. So these are fresh and can't do anything. But yeah, I would definitely turn and just present some opportunities for him and pass.
Okay.
Sometimes,
Gain 1 for a library.
wait,
What was the last comment?
oh yeah, I thought that was that's library. Okay, no, what I was gonna say was sometimes I would turn a card that he wouldn't expect just because then it starts making him think, okay, is that just a free trade or is he just desperate?
Yeah, and so the Princess Bride, right? I have to worry about, okay, what am I thinking he's got? what is he thinking I've got? What am I thinking that he thinks that I got, and vice versa. We have to bluff the living hell out of each other to figure out who's got the poison in the glass. Um, but any decent player is gonna see this, and they're just gonna progress on with their 2-turn clock because there's nothing I can do with these two
Yeah, right now
that would matter.
I'm thinking let's go for card draw, let's go for so we're gonna
Yeah,
quest for
you need
two.
more.
Quest for
You
two,
need to
Genie.
increase your win cons. Yeah.
And then we're gonna bounce
Yep.
Genie. And then
So do you have enough to play Diablo and then put the damage on, or you can put the damage on Diablo, then you can draw 3 cards? Is that how that works?
He needs to
well,
play Diablo, move him to the library, then put the damage on him.
Oh yeah,
going to
that's
play
true.
him.
Yep.
I'm gonna move
Move him in.
him to the library.
Yep.
And we're gonna
Quest for
quest for
Hades.
Hades for 2.
Yep.
Move 2 damage to Diablo.
Yep.
Draw 1, 2 for
2.
Hades.
Yep.
And
And
2
then 2 more.
for Diablo at
Yep.
the library. Actually insane.
Yep. You haven't inked, so there's
Yeah.
another card draw.
Ink Pain. Play Genie again. Draw another card.
And Quest of Pan.
I would
I just
actually double sing a Pirate's
I
Life
can't.
so you could.
I can't.
He can't.
Yes,
Mim
you
is
can just-
fresh.
can-
Genie's fresh.
Okay, good. Just the way it looked, it was the memo was
This
already
Yeah.
on the
is
board.
questing, and this is taking out a Diablo.
Okay, that's better.
So before you said take Diablo out, I guess it doesn't matter. He has 2 Ursulas because he can always bounce Ursula and take your Pirate's Life. But he has 2 of them, so it doesn't matter.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, and if he's wasting his turns doing that, he's not
Yeah.
taking out anything, and I have
Mhm.
more than enough on board to be dangerous. And yeah,
So
passing
you
on
could
that.
play a little bit more. Yeah, basically start swinging away.
An overinvestment at this stage in the game. There's really nothing that could be done.
Nope.
Yeah, I hate to say this, Ken, but that Hades it needed to be off that board like 2 turns ago.
Yeah. So there's no digging out now. Let's just see.
So, and what I've gotten from this so far, Ken, is in this matchup, just assume that the Hades is in the hand and always try to get the removal for it.
Yeah, this is discard, right? So you never discard early unless you're red green. You never discard early. We know that. You discard when when you either have a read on the hand, like with an Ursula or a Diablo, and you know that you're taking out something that's going to be crippling no matter what. Um, like especially when they're an ink away from being able to play a couple things, and they have to take away one of those big things because they can't do the ink. But
Well, now,
you don't discard until it's full on your advantage. But not getting the Brunos, not getting the chills, not
yeah.
getting the early shift Diablo of bees. I mean, there was a lot of things that kind of collapsed. I don't know if we played the deck incorrectly. It was just a tough go at it.
This combo
I know.
is
I think you
crazy.
played it right.
Yeah.
Like
I was gonna say, yeah.
4 cards off of that for like basically 2 ink. It's wild.
Yeah, I hate to say this. This makes it now. You have 2 different answers to worry about in this matchup. So be prepared, and now the Hades.
I almost want to.
Yeah.
There's only one in the deck. I almost want to grab another one. He's so good.
I think you do to increase your chances and just consider it a playable.
Yeah,
Like
it's
you're
just
gonna
rough
see.
because he's a 7 cost
I
uninkable. But
mean, yeah, I
Yeah.
would just
without him,
replace.
I
I would
don't
just
think
be prepared.
I don't think I refill my hand fast enough to come back and have a shot at the game.
I think you get rid of one B prep for him.
Yep, I
Well,
would
I'm
drop
running
the B
3
prep.
already, so
Oh.
Whatever uninkable
Mhm.
count you have to replace one from them.
yep. Yeah, cool. I'll take a look at where he fits in because yeah, he definitely was kind of the MVP of that one. So that does it for today's video. Thank you guys so much for making it to the end. This was a pretty good matchup. We did win and we were on the play, which is pretty good. But I think we learned a lot from it. And this Ruby Amethyst deck really is something that I'm keen to pick up and continue to improve, and at least improve my ability to play with it. Thank you guys again for being an amazing community watching the videos. I hope you learned something new today, and I'll see you in the next one. See ya.